Have you ever felt lost, unsure of how to ask for what you truly desire in life? That feeling of helplessness can be overwhelming. Amid the noise of everyday life, many of us become the keepers of unbearable silences, stifling our deepest longings. The art of asking is often set aside, deemed too simple, ignored in the relentless pursuit of goals that increasingly seem out of reach. Throughout life, we've been taught to work hard, sacrificing dreams in the name of responsibilities and obligations. This is the exalted culture of productivity, which promises success at the expense of our authenticity. But what this approach fails to tell us is that the path to fulfillment begins with a small yet essential skill, the ability to ask. When we can't express ourselves, our dreams become shadows, lost echoes in a labyrinth of frustration and discouragement. The pain we often feel is a reflection of an unheard cry, a desire that remains trapped in our chest, suffocated by doubt and fear. How can we transform this pain into strength? How can we reclaim our longings and give voice to what we need? The answer lies in facing the barrier we've built ourselves, the fear of asking, of being vulnerable, of opening up to others. It's time to recognize that your infinite potential resides in this singular ability. The power is not only in what you desire, but in the courage to name it. Free yourself from this cycle of silence. Allow yourself to awaken to the idea that when you ask, you are not merely a beggar, you are a co-creator of your reality. As you reflect on this, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. You are not alone in this journey. Together, we can explore the path that leads to fulfillment. Remember, you are not just seeking what you desire, you are claiming what is rightfully yours. The art of asking. Notice how life unfolds before you. Each day presents a new opportunity, a vast menu of possibilities. But what happens when we don't know what to ask for? When desire becomes a whisper, muffled by fear and uncertainty? The path to fulfillment begins with a small yet vital act, the courage to ask. How many times have you felt like a lost traveler, surrounded by options yet unable to express your true needs? This feeling of helplessness is not a solitary curse. Thousands of silenced voices inhabit this invisible pain, suffocated by social norms and expectations. The truth is, many of us have been conditioned to believe that relentless effort is the only path to achievement. However, we overlook the essential piece of this puzzle: knowing what we truly want. We hear advice about working hard and being resilient, but we rarely learn the art of asking. This skill, this simple wisdom, is often sidelined, regarded as an irrelevant detail. As a result, we lose our dreams in a sea of obligations. The shadows of our desires become walls, built by a fear that prevents us from taking a step forward. That's why it's crucial to take a moment to pause. Ask yourself, what is my true desire? This question is not just rhetorical, it's a call for introspection. To navigate the path to fulfillment, we need clarity about what we want. Asking is not an act of weakness, it's a sign of empowerment. When you dare to vocalize your desire, you're not just invoking a response from the universe, you're also reaffirming your right to exist fully. Dive into this realization and remember, what lies within you can transform your exterior. Don't remain silent. Sure, vulnerability can be daunting, but it invites you to turn the page to a new chapter. By freeing your needs, you open doors that once seemed impenetrable. So, as you contemplate this idea, share what you find in your internal search. You are not alone. Many face this journey. This transition begins here and now, in how you position yourself and ask, in your ability to recognize and communicate your longings. Be brave. After all, silence can be a powerful voice, but asking is the first step toward reaching what you truly desire, the mask of silence. When was the last time you truly asked for something? I'm not talking about a simple, could you pass the salt, but rather about what lies deep within you. What do you yearn for but lack the courage to voice? In our silence, we often hide not just our desires, but also the pain of not being heard. The truth is that many of us wear the mask of silence, as if we were puppets on a stage, playing a role that doesn't belong to us. This discomfort, this invisible weight building in your chest, speaks of an internal disconnect. Often, what we ask for is merely a shadow of what we really desire. The longing for a promotion, the search for approval, or even the need for love. These actions transform into echoes of a deeper cry, a language of feelings that can't be captured in words. And what happens when this communication breaks down? When fragility becomes a burden to bear? On the stage of life, applause usually goes to those who perform with clarity. But what about you? How can you be your own voice in this choir? Forget the fear. It's time to unmask your vulnerability. This isn't about being weak. It's about recognizing that there is strength in opening yourself up. There is power in authenticity. When you ask, you not only reveal your aspirations, you break the walls that surround your true self. And in that act, you start to understand that what resides within you can indeed transform your exterior. Take a moment right now. Set aside a few seconds to ask yourself, what do I really want? What does my heart yearn for beyond what has been expressed? This simple question could spark a major transformation. Let your voice resonate, not only in the words you speak, but in the courage you develop by allowing yourself to be heard. Remember, you are not alone on this journey, nor in the struggle against silence. This search for true expression begins here and now. Freeing yourself from the mask of silence is the first step to connecting with what is meant for you. Sometimes, all you need is a simple "I want" for the world to start moving in your favor. And don't forget, while you seek that desire, know that vulnerability is an act of courage. Facing the shadow. How many times have you hesitated to ask for something you truly wanted? I'm not talking about a trivial request, but about a deep yearning that lies at the core of your being. The disconnect between what we aspire to and what we can vocalize is a chasm many of us face. And within that silence, there's a shadow. The truth is, this shadow is fed by fears and insecurities that hold us back. Confronting these shadows can be uncomfortable. They whisper lies about your inadequacy, instilling doubt in your voice while isolation becomes a cozy mask. It's easier to stay in a safe space, isn't it? But by doing so, you sacrifice not only your desires, but also your potential. Why is it so difficult to ask? It feels like an invisible weight keeps us from taking that simple action. Have you reflected on how this internal struggle exists in many of us? We are social beings, connected by common needs and desires. Yet, the ability to express these needs often slips away under societal expectations and the fear of judgment. This makes us forget that when we ask, we're merely claiming what is rightfully ours. Now is the time to challenge that internal shadow. What have you been telling yourself is impossible? By confronting these limiting beliefs, a clear question arises. What is your true desire? This isn't just a rhetorical question. It's an invitation to dive into your authenticity. Paradoxically, opening yourself up to vulnerability may lead you to true strength. In this space for reflection, allow yourself to step out of the shadows. Breaking the silence is an act of bravery. By facing your shadow, you not only give voice to your own needs, but also inspire others to do the same. In this way, we create a cycle of empowerment that resonates far beyond ourselves. So, look inward. The answer you're seeking is there, ready to emerge. What lies within you can indeed transform your outer world. Remember this. When you ask, you illuminate not just your own path, but also the paths of those around you. The revolution of asking. Have you ever taken a moment to open your heart to your deepest needs? That feeling that arises, like a distant echo, when you try to express yourself, but all you manage is an anxious whisper. What resides within you can transform your outer world. This is the essence we often overlook, a latent potential, a repressed desire that quietly burns within us. Modern life pushes us into a frantic pace, where the idea of asking is often perceived as a weakness. We've been taught to value struggle and effort, almost like a mantra. Yet how many of us have truly paused to ask ourselves, what do I really want, apart from the expectations others have of me? We are surrounded by opinions and advice, but the real wisdom lies in our ability to ask sincerely. It takes courage to blossom, to expose the vulnerabilities hidden beneath layers of self-imposed restrictions and fear. It's a paradox. The answer you seek often dwells in a space of vulnerability. Confronting this internal shadow can be daunting. When you realize that you can have what you need, the universe simply awaits your permission to ask. Have you recognized that most of our barriers are constructed by ourselves? What holds you back from voicing your desire? Is it the fear of absurdity, judgment, or rejection? These uncertainties create silences that resonate and echo many of us hear daily, suffocating our own longings. Now, imagine the possibility of transformation. The act of asking is not a mere gesture, it's a bridge to what we desire, a point of connection with the universe. When you dare to open up and ask sincerely, aligned with your essence, you step closer to your inner truth. You become a co-creator of your reality, where each request is an affirmation of your presence in the world. At this moment, allow yourself this reflection. How can I ask so that my desire echoes with clarity? Let this question resonate within you. You are embarking on an internal revolution, a journey that requires authenticity and courage. Don't forget, your true potential is revealed when you allow yourself to be seen. In each request, you not only connect with what you wish for, but also shed the weight of the silence that has marked your journey, the chains of fear. Do you feel the weight of an invisible chain around you? Every time a desire arises, a thought of rejection, of not deserving, imposes itself. These chains of fear keep us imprisoned, simple shackles that distort our perception of who we are and what we can achieve. The art of asking is often stifled by what we consider protections. However, these so-called protections turn into prisons, and breaking free from them is the first act of empowerment. Many of us have been shaped by the belief that relentless effort is the only path to success. This belief convinces us to push aside our authenticity, to silence the voice that longs for fulfillment. The fear of exposure becomes a constant presence, a shadow that looms over our greatest aspirations. The question that should resonate in your mind is, what has been holding you back from asking? The fear of judgment, insecurity about our own worth, and doubt about our ability to receive are the chains that bind us. Yet, this internal struggle is universal. At some point, we all feel paralyzed, carrying the weight of silence. It's an invisible burden, but it must be confronted. We need to understand that asking is not a sign of weakness. It is a profound recognition of our right to exist fully. Imagine, for a moment, the freedom that comes with the decision to vocalize your needs and desires. When you allow your voice to resonate, you begin to break those chains. It's a small step that can lead to monumental transformation. By opening up, you create space for what is authentic. Only through the act of asking can your true essence flourish. Look within yourself. Deep down, what are you waiting to release? It's time to untie those knots and honor your true needs. What exists within you can indeed transform your exterior. Awaken. Free yourself from the chains that hold you back from living fully. And in doing so, you not only change your life, but you also inspire others to do the same. Once, awakening authenticity. Have you ever stopped to appreciate the beauty in the simplicity of a request? Life teaches us to fight in silence, to bear the weight of our desires as if they were blemishes, when in truth, they are the essence of our authenticity. I believe many of us, tormented by doubt and fear, silence the voices that cry out for expression. What resides within us often turns into an empty space, where our longings are merely faint echoes of untapped potential. How many times have you settled for what was offered to you without daring to ask for what you truly desired? This conformity, fueled by insecurity, traps us in a cycle of dissatisfaction. We learn to work hard, seeking validation in others' expectations, yet we lose ourselves along the way. The act of asking is not just a request, it's a declaration that we exist, as long as we have a voice. Asking can be daunting, a clear invitation to vulnerability. But where is the fragility, if not a doorway to new possibilities? You see, when you confront the fears that hold you back from asserting yourself, you clear the path to what you truly wish for. Remember, living is learning. Each unfulfilled request is an opportunity for growth, a step closer to discovering and affirming yourself. So, I invite you to reflect. What is my true desire? Let this question resonate in your heart. Every answer, even if fragile, represents a piece of who you really are. By allowing yourself to ask, you not only validate your presence in the world, but also tap into the power to co-create your own reality. This is a sublime moment, this awakening of authenticity. When you finally allow yourself to be seen, you discover the strength that comes from your own vulnerability. Embrace your yearnings, celebrate your needs. After all, what lies within you can indeed transform your exterior. Don't be afraid. Speak up, and the world will begin to listen. Universal connection. The universe often acts as a silent mirror reflecting our intentions. Have you ever noticed how, even without formulating a clear request, it responds to your deep emotions? Sometimes, what lies within us communicates directly with the external world, even when we lack the words to express it. This dynamic, this ongoing dialogue, requires our careful attention, as our inner state shapes our external experiences. Many live unaware that every unspoken feeling, every silenced desire, can be a window to what they truly seek. The sense of helplessness you know all too well, the frustration of not being able to reach your goals, is often fueled by this silence. What you don't ask for, the universe cannot provide. At the same time, we must remember that the universe is not limited to words. It responds to our essence. It's a constant play of frequencies. This connection brings a sense of peace, a deep understanding that fulfillment lies not only in the act of asking, but also in the self-acceptance of who you are. If throughout your journey you've felt lost, trapped in insecurities, know that this is an invitation to reconnect with yourself. Look within. What do you truly desire? This question resonates like a call, and in searching for the answer, you may discover that you already possess the key to unlock doors that once seemed closed. The power lies not just in what you ask for, but in the peace you have cultivated within yourself. Facing your shadows and your deepest longings is a vital step toward realization. Understanding this connection means allowing yourself to be in your purest authenticity. As you align with your true self, you begin to see that you're not just a passerby in this world, but an active co-creator of your reality. Remember this: what resides within you can transform your exterior. Living in peace and authenticity is a choice that no one else can make for you. The universe awaits your first move, and it responds with the strength of your truths. Thus, as you anchor your desires in authenticity, the real magic begins to unfold. The Great Return. Throughout this journey, we've discovered echoes of our own voices, whispering truths we often overlook. And now, as we approach our Great Return, it's time to integrate everything we've learned. Frequently, the external chaos we face mirrors the internal disorder that has isolated us from feeling a sense of belonging to ourselves and to the universe around us. Have you ever stopped to reflect on the depth of your authenticity? What does it truly mean to belong to yourself? The answer is both simple and profound. It means recognizing and accepting who you are without the masks society insists we wear. The voice of fear, which often rises louder during our moments of weakness, can be quieted by the calm of self-compassion and acceptance. In every tear, in every laugh, and in every unmade request lies the essence of what you truly desire. Shi Heng Yi teaches us that the path to self-care and personal understanding is a primary act of love, a way of honoring our own journey. Transformation begins when we look into the mirror of our soul and choose to be truly seen. By confronting your shadows, you create space for your longings. In this return to what is authentic, there's an opportunity to finally voice your deepest desires. When you allow yourself to ask, you're not merely making a request, you're affirming your existence and your right to be heard. As we wrap up this chapter and turn our focus back to the present, I invite you to reflect. What experiences have you had during this journey? It's time to share. Tell us. What has changed in you as you learned the art of asking? Each share is a bridge we build together, a way of recognizing that we are not alone. So, as we look to the future, let's remember that true strength lies in our vulnerability and in our ability to be who we really are. The journey of self-discovery doesn't end here. It is just beginning to blossom. Because deep down, what resides within you can transform your outer world.